Cool. So now across profile building, there are multiple use cases. There is passion projects, research, internships, competitions, community service, and extracurriculars and um, exchange programs. And then there is online courses, right? We are going to be looking at the first four cases, which is profile building, research, internships, and competitions, right? Those are the four cases that we'll look at. Now, passion projects is the first category that I'll start with. Now, in any of these categories, the first thing to remember is predominantly that the flow is simple. Great idea, great execution, great commercialization, or at least proof of concept. And then how do you present that story? Present that story is something that you already have been doing for years, and I don't think need assistance there. We look at the first three things, right? Now, from an ideation standpoint, today idea is the biggest value USP that anyone can have today, right? And that, how do we solve for that, is where I am going to start sharing my screen. Is my screen visible to everyone?
Yes, yes.
Okay, awesome. Right. So let's start with ideation, right? So base thing, right? So the more detailed nuance and context you give to ChatGPT, the better the idea, right? Now, I assume that I have to pick a passion project for let's say myself, right? I would go, I am interested in food, filmmaking, and food and filmmaking. Um, Give me academically engineering, specifically computer science. Ignore the typos, I'm just typing fast. Computer science, or human computer interaction is my area of, and I'm sure all of you are doing this, right? So I'm just picking an idea based on this, and then we'll see how do we quickly execute, right? Academically engineering, give me ideas at the intersection of my personal and academic interests, and um, to build that solve a large problem and have a deep deep insight into the market, uh, into the market, back this up with numbers and quantify the problem for me to solve. Now we are generating a passion project idea, and this is the basic prompt. Of course, it requires a lot of nuances, but this is how we can start at at the very beginning of it, right? Now it has started giving me a couple of ideas. The first idea is reducing food waste via immersive storytelling. Okay, because food film marketplace for authentic culinary stories, underrepresented cuisines, smart kitchen film assisted cooking system for reducing food waste and improving cooking experiences. And yeah, it gave me three ideas. Did not like any. I will go back and say, okay, did not like any. Filmmaking has to be, let's say, 20% or non or optional part part of ideation. Uh, Keep food and problems that can be solved via technology, could be for restaurants, hospitality, um, consumers. Give me deep insights, right? It will go on, it will start presenting the problem. If you even look at it, right, I would say food film marketplace for authentic culinary stories is not a bad idea. Global digital video content market online Global digital video content market is close to about $214 billion, and food out of that is a large chunk of it, right? It's close to about 12% of food content being created. Now if you can create a creator toolkit for all food content folks to essentially monetize their YouTube channel. It's a great product that you've built, right? But I'm again taking it on from there. Smart food inventory and demand forecast system for restaurants. Let's say this consumer facing app for leftover ordering and redistribution. kitchen UX. Okay, let's say I want to build this, right? Consumer facing app for leftover food ordering and redistribution in hospitality and food service. I decide that I want to build this app. Let's go deeper and let's let's start building this. I want to build this. Now give me a detailed prompt idea for lovable and think like a product manager to help me enable this mm, mm, this yeah. Okay. I will quickly take the prompt from here and I'll show you from idea to an app. It will take us in less than 15 to 20 minutes. What will matter is if anybody can do this in 15 to 20 minutes, how do you then go out and partner with, let's say, Zomato, Feeding India, Robin Hood Army to actually get actual users to use this, right? Because building an app today or building a product today, and this is not just software products, by the way, it could be hardware products, it could be marketing product, it could be finance product. It's less than 15 minutes of work left today, right? Folks, are you there with me? Uh,
Yes.
am I audible?
Yes.
Yes. Yes, yes.
Yeah. So let's look at how quickly from an idea, right? And by the way, this is very unformed idea. I'm not saying that this is how ideation should happen. I'm saying that imagine you have an idea today and you want to execute and try and test it out. It takes less than 15 minutes for anybody to build something today. And that is the first use case. So your passion projects get started uh, almost instantly and wait, so this is yeah. Okay, getting ready and sure. Yeah, it is starting to build out my entire product, and let's look at the product over here.
So, Naman, while this is building, I have a quick question. So, can
Yeah,
you, I mean, you did a multiple things. Can you just summarize like what you did? Sorry, I just missed a few
yeah.
steps.
So I went to ChatGPT. I gave it a prompt that I
Mhm.
need an idea.
Right,
I took that prompt at an intersection of my personal interest and academic interest, and asked it to give me problem statements. Now, I
right,
it gave me the problem statements. I did not like anything. So I said, okay, let's rework on this and let's generate it one more time with some changes to the prompt because I could see what was wrong in
right.
my prompt, right? So then it generated a set of new ideas and I liked one of those ideas. I then took that idea and said, okay, I would want to work on this idea. Now think like a product manager or a chief product officer and help me write down a detailed plan for this, right? Then ChatGPT helped me do that. And once it helped me do that, I was then able to uh, copy that,
Give it
put
a
it in
command.
Lovable,
Hmm.
right? I was able to put it in
Right.
Lovable, and from my idea to at least the first iteration of it, it is almost coming up now,
Okay.
right? Now, again, this has created dummy content because I have zero partnerships right now, correct? But if I were to, this is just the landing page, implement landing code, preview latest. Okay, uh, get started now. Okay, don't just build the landing page, build the entire product that can integrate with, let's say, existing restaurants, POS, and pull inventory data and then uh, be managed by us as admins, build backend dashboards. The UI for now will integrate Did I use will integrate uh, take on for doing this database later. So, yeah. Yeah. So this has built a landing page. I've given it that don't just build the landing page, build out the entire thing for me, right? How will I find food? How will restaurants place it across the board? And based on that, it will start building the entire thing out for me. Now, again, it requires 4, 5, 10 iterations, and the more features you keep giving to this, the more it will start building on top, right? So, what it means is today from idea to a product is less than 30 minutes. Good product from iteration and understanding is less than, at least for you to take it out to market, is less than 3 hours, 4 hours max, right? If you're able to spend 3, 4 hours, build a minimum viable product, and everybody is able to do that, then your distribution, your access to industry, and your validation and scale is all that is going to matter. Maybe this adoption of this might take time. So, two application cycles, students might be doing this, might not be doing this. But beyond that, I think everybody will go ahead and do this. So, passion projects as a category will start calling for more and more depth when it comes to it. But at least for the next 2 years, you're sorted from idea to product in less than a few clicks. Right? It wrote down close to about 10,000 lines of code instantly.
Wow.
Right? And it's English, right? So today, the modern day programming language is actually English. It's not, let's say, a React or JavaScript or any of these, right? So, MERN stack. Modern day programming language is English. The more context you can give, the more you understand, the better it will write code for you, right? So that is just use case one of profile building, which is passion projects. Now let's test out, and this is not the only platform, by the way. So we can test it out. Let's say I'm sure all of you are working with students. Your students have ideas. Give me a couple of ideas that you would want to experiment with, and we'll make it right there in front of you. Anyone?
Hear me, Naman?
Yeah,
Yeah. So one of my student is interested in developing a website. She wants to focus on mental health, but she's a science student and she does not know how to build a website. And she's reaching
yeah,
out to students to help her if
yeah.
anybody can team up with her. So if going by this, if it's possible for her to have a website where she can post all that she is doing for mental health and psychology related on her own
Yeah.
website, that would be really great.
Give me what is the use case that you want that she wants to solve in mental health.
So basically, a website where she can, she wants to have monthly planners which students can access or download her free book relating to how to manage stress during exams. Then she wants to come up with weekly podcasts. So all of those where students can, just go to her website and get information at the same time. A lot of downloadable stuff where, we can have concrete data that so many pamphlets were or books were downloaded, so many visits, so many subscriptions. She wants to keep it free, but
Hmm.
basically, yeah, anything and everything, whatever project she has done, she can have those on the website as well. So this was just the basic idea, and then as she can go forward and if she can improvise, that would be the plan.
Yeah. Okay. I given the prompt. Let's look at. So Lovable is working. It is editing its own pages and it is writing a large set of, I think, pages. Like, yeah, it is writing a bunch of pages. In the meantime, we've given the mental health prompt to another platform called Orchard Apps, right? This will do the mental health thing. So today, the whole point of showing this to you, and this takes about 15-20 minutes because it is practically doing, let's say, something that would have taken at least 4 to 6 weeks for a good programmer to do in under minutes, right? So it will take some amount of time for sure,
So
but
this
it
is a
after
play,
10,
this is a, yeah, this is orchids, you mean?
this one, the mental health platform is being run on Orchard app. The previous one, the food supply that we were looking at, is being run on uh, a lovable,
Cloud.
right? So lovable.dev. Yeah. So now let's look at this, right? This is showing me food items near me. If I am a restaurant, I am essentially now able to uh, add again. This is just a very beginner flow, but I'm able to add a restaurant to the backend. I'm then able to give a dashboard to the restaurant to. I'm able to see what are the restaurants that I have in my journey. As a restaurant, I am able to essentially add my inventory and items that might go to waste to put it out there in terms of what is the amount of waste saved, what is the total revenue generated because I sold off wasted food at a lower cost, what was my weekly performance. I can list my surplus in terms of what are the items that are available, available until when, and I can push it out and it will be visible to everyone to consume, right? Now, this is again, the quality of idea isn't the best. We took it in less than what, 2 minutes, right? The more time we can spend on quality ideas, development today is not an issue. It actually created this in front of you in what, less than 15 minutes, right? Now, having said that, this is an amazing tool to build MVPs. What will matter is then how do you get access to actual restaurants? How do you get access to partners that will want to use this product? How do you actually build orders and transaction on the platform? And that is real profile building in terms of passion projects, right? And that is something that requires massive help, assistance across the board, which is where we as experiment labs also come in because of our nature of our partnerships and understanding of industry. We can enable this for students across the board. But if you want to start and try out part one, it's absolutely available to you today. With a few prompts, you're able to build a massive product just by iterating, right? So any questions on this so far? Yes, no,
I
maybe.
have a doubt, Naman. So
Yeah,
when we are discussing about passion project, I would sit and ideate with my student as a counselor, as you know, the best project after obviously using the AI tool, ChatGPT.
yeah,
But converting into an app is something I think the student will go forward and do it, right? I mean,
absolutely, right.
why
Like,
would
see,
I do that for a student?
you
Because
won't do it,
it's
right? You
his,
will have
yeah,
to, the student will have to do
right.
it.
Will have
Absolutely.
to do it. Right.
The student
Okay.
will have to do it, right? So
Right.
again, it's a massive undertaking across the board, right? It's because when the student gets stuck, they will come back to you and ask for help, right? And that is
Yes.
where
Absolutely.
you either need to be aware of the product or you need assistance for
Right. I got
across
that.
the board, right? So yeah, okay,
So,
yeah,
Naman, my query is,
yeah,
when we actually start implementing and using these platforms, in that process, we would be having many queries,
yeah,
whom to contact to gain knowledge firsthand and then to impart to students. Like you said, students would be doing it, but wherever they would be stuck, we would be needing to help them.
yeah.
So, what are our resources to troubleshoot?
Experiment labs is your resource to
All
troubleshoot.
right. Fine.
So yeah,
Fine.
so we are there for exactly this reason, right? Because you as a single person, so we think of it like a doctor pharma thing, right? All you are doctors, right? You
Mm.
understand what needs to be done, but you can't actually go out producing the drug also, right?
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. Because
So,
it It's a lot of work for us already.
Yeah. So that is where we come in and sort of help you out. But the idea is that just step ones are pretty solid, right? In terms of getting students at least started, addicted, because a lot of times, despite a lot of profile building programs and including ours being out there, the first step is students also don't want to pay for it. They will only pay when they actually get stuck. They actually want to go ahead and take that first step.
Right.
And this will enable you to actually do that. And that is how it should be. People should
Mm.
actually take the first step on their own. Only when they need assistance, they should come to anybody
Yeah,
across.
only when they actually find something concrete coming up and they are interested to continue, then they should get in touch with you.
Absolutely. Yeah. Right.
Fine.
Because
Yeah, I think this is really helpful, Naman, because
Exactly.
at
At
least
least
we can get their interest ignited. We can show them how easy it is, and we can brainstorm with them, get the ideas out, bring it to some form, and say, this is how you take it forward. A lot of times, what happens is students are so busy in their coursework and academics, and they're kind of drawing a blank, and it takes a lot out of us in a traditional way to kind of coax some idea out of it, right? So I think this is useful.
yeah. So see, look at
Good.
this, right? Your mental health journey starts here. Explore resources, start your journey. If I get started, I can go to the dashboard. I can see how many days have I been logging in, how many tasks have I completed, what is my
please
most
share the screen for the mental health app.
Yeah, you're not sharing that screen. I think you have to.
yeah.
Yeah,
Is this visible now?
Yeah.
yeah.
Right? So I was able to see like go from login page to essentially building an entire dashboard, having a view of okay, what are my tasks for today, to essentially having a planner for the day, uh,
Excellent.
in what, less than 10 minutes.
Mm.
And this also keeps a log. So again, all of this is predominantly possible. You just need to have a great idea, and the quality of idea will matter. Your implementation will matter,
Yes,
right? This product, because if everybody can make a product today in less than 10 minutes, it's how you go out and execute that matters,
Right.
right? So but this is a good start. I'm saying that why we are showing this is also because the start itself, people start feeling overwhelmed, right? Just in your case, you said the student is an engineering, is a non-science or engineering student, and she wants to build something like this. You've unlocked a superpower for the student,
Right.
I have one
right?
question, Naman.
Yeah.
How do we, so obviously we are not going to do it, and but it's always a great idea for, us to give them ideas, and then they can take it further, and being being in this age, they can crack it further better than us. That is one.
Yeah.
But how do I know whether she needs to get onto the Orchids platform or the Lovable platform? I'm a bit confused over there.
uh,
How
so
do we decide?
uh, there is actually no clear answer to that, right? Each of those platforms. So I'll give you a couple of use cases across the board. I will tell you that Orchids has a better UI function.
Okay.
Lovable is so now, because all of these platforms are also in a race, right? Which feature do they end
exactly.
up building that will beat the next platform by 100 times? You don't know, and every day is a new day. So it's a lot to catch up. But to get
Yep.
started, both of them are equally good, right? When you actually have to build advanced use cases, you'll get stuck, and you'll then figure out where is it that you're finding your fit and where you're able to progress more. But tools are there is what I'm trying to say. There is,
Different.
yeah.
Thank
So,
you.
Naman, I had a follow-up to that. So this is a good question, right? So first of all, if I had to choose between Orchids and Lovable, for that use case, my go-to is ChatGPT. I would say, what do you suggest? So I've started depending on ChatGPT so much. And
ChatGPT
the
won't be
other,
able to tell you actually, because the problem is
yeah,
ChatGPT also relies on content, right? None of these
correct.
companies, so Lovable is
Have
producing more
enough. Yeah,
content because they have more money in the bank. Orchard
correct.
doesn't have a lot of money in the bank, but so they're not able to produce large content.
Right.
That's how it is.
Absolutely, absolutely. So I know that. I take it with a grain of salt, but at least it's a start, right? I didn't even know about orchids till you told me
Yeah.
now, right? So at least it gives me a start. And then, of course, I would try it in different places. And of course, that's where the human help comes in, where you're the expert and you say, hey, this has not even gone into the database. But that's one thing. The second thing is, despite all of that, right? I mean, every day, my feeling of I get overwhelmed because something new is coming up every day, right?
Yeah,
And playing catch up to see what is the best. Today it's nano banana or something else. It's like every day there's some Gyani guru on Facebook also saying, this is the latest tool.
yeah.
So what is your advice on how we, kind of anchor ourselves and say, okay, we are going to go with something, and pick and choose, and how do we
Uh,
advise students on how to pick the right tool? Coming back to Sheetal's question, right? It's not just about Lovable or Orchids, it's about this whole 100 tools coming up every day.
so again, right, so what I'm presenting, there are three large fields, right? Emerging
Sorry,
and
there's some
please,
background noise, can't hear you.
okay. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, thanks.
Good. So, so again, there are three large predominant players, right? Lovable, Orchids,
Mm.
and Emergent, who are doing great job. You don't even have to look at a third tool as of now. If there's something, I'll start a
So,
newsletter, post it somewhere. But amongst these three, your universe is sorted for now. Now, it's also a lot of function of how much the student also actually wants to spend, right? Now, on Lovable, when I built this,
yes,
my entire free consumption tier got over. So now I'll have to pay, let's say, $20, $40 subscription to,
right,
right?
right.
Orchard will give me at least 5 or 10 more iterations to go ahead with. Now, if I was
Mm-hmm,
setting up an online store, let's say I
mm-hmm.
had a consumer product and I was doing a D2C product with an online store, I would go with Lovable. If I were to build a full stack product, I would go with um, Emergent. If I were to build, let's say, websites, platforms which has content that is being uploaded to a large degree, and you need better visuals across the board, I would choose Orchids. Now that's the use case today.
Mm-hmm,
Now again,
mm-hmm.
7 days later, some of
Yeah,
them, like,
right.
it's absolutely difficult to answer that. Today, that is the use case.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Well, it's a massive race, and every day, like,
right.
I'm having to
I'm
spend, let's say,
just
every morning between 6 to 9 a.m. is just catching up on everything. So it's a
correct,
three
correct.
hour
Yeah.
marathon learning session, just catching up on what is working well across
What
the
is
board.
the, yeah, yeah.
But thanks, actually, one thing that we have good going for us is uh, one of the advisors on board is the head of education at OpenAI for us. So we get a lot of insight, backdoor insight from him.
Oh,
Because
very nice.
call and yeah,
Okay,
keeps
okay. Now we have you as our contact, so I guess
so
I can rest
this
easy.
is how the information, right? Good. Okay, awesome. So that's use case one around passion projects, profile building across the board, right? Let's look at another use case, which is let's go with competitions as a use case, right? So let me start there. Uh, were you able to? Yeah, so orchards is something that we looked at. Now let's go with competition. So how will this work? Is okay. Products are there. Double screen sharing as a facility is complicated, but okay. Let's first go back to ChatGPT and let's look at, okay. Now give me some global competitions. Again, I am doing of review, maybe analytics, analytics, data science, etc. in this domain that I can find and apply for. Right? Again, I'm doing a very random ChatGPT search because that's what you're used to. Of course, there's a lot of depth that is needed. I'm cutting short on a lot of prompting for now. Okay, assume that it gave me a food hackathon from Cornell University, and the food hackathons are in this word. Okay, okay. Let's even look at one more thing. Don't take my food waste idea. just give me open-ended competitions in the at the intersection of trust and academia, and I am a relative, and where can I find them? Uh, Okay, so let's say this gave me a competition called Kegel Restaurant Visitor Forecasting. I will go to this website called Kegel, and I will start finding competitions. Let's say restaurant. Okay, I will go to Kegel. I think they have something called competitions. Over here, they have something called Restaurant Demand Forecast Challenge. Right now, this is at an intersection of my personal interests and academic interests. And then uh, I can go ahead and participate in this competition. Now, assuming that I want to go ahead and participate in this competition, right? What will this, how will I actually go ahead and do anything about it? That's the next question, correct? Now, let's look at active competitions. I think this one has ended and my prompt was weak, but let's say this ended in June 2023. Let's look at competitions that are open on Kaggle. Uh, let's look at okay, let's look at this. Mm, and
Probably you can also limit it to students, maybe. I mean, the age
but the
limits.
prompting can of course be better. I'm saying
Yeah,
that
yeah,
I'm sure all
yeah,
of you are.
yeah, yeah. You're showing a
That's
superset
why
right
I'm
now.
on
Yeah,
this bypassing
yeah.
a couple of steps, right? But
Understood.
I'm
Understood.
rather than spending time on prompts, I'm spending time on
I know. I
tools.
know. I
Yeah.
understand.
Okay. So now I went to something called Google AI Studio. Okay. And on Google AI Studio, speaking. Okay. Hi, can you read what's on my screen? And now I want to actually go ahead and participate in this competition. Can you handhold me step by step from what I need to do, what is the competition, and just help me apply and win this competition? I'm looking to participate and I want you to handhold me step by step. Yeah, I already have a Kaggle account. Okay, this persona. No, not needed for now. See, again, what this will do is this will handhold me end to end, right? I will
Hmm.
just try and verify the competition. And were you able to hear Google AI Studio, by the way, folks? Or
Yeah.
yeah, okay, cool. So continue on another device and email. I will go and send it your link. Okay. And once again, so
Somehow I cannot hear what Google AI, if at all it's reciprocating.
Google AI is working in the background, right? So it's reading my screen and working in the background.
Nothing verbal, nothing audible, right, from that side?
Whatever you're hearing, like let's say whenever it interrupts and goes ahead and speaks, that is the only thing. Are you able to hear that or no?
No, I couldn't. That's
Is that the case for everyone?
Yeah, me
Yes,
too.
even I couldn't
couldn't
hear
couldn't
anything.
hear.
Okay.
Could hear
We
you
can hear
speaking.
you saying, but nothing from Google AI Studio.
Right.
Okay. Wait, then let me do one thing. You won't be okay. That's the way to look at it then. Clone tab, Google AI Studio. Can you see it now? I'll restart the
No.
entire thing. Wait, I'm restarting the entire thing.
Sometimes it's a Zoom setting also when you're speaking, but the
Yeah,
system.
it's a Zoom setting itself, but I'll add demo, right? So are you able to hear from Google now? Let it speak.
Yeah.
Yes.
Uh, uh,
Yes, I can hear you. I am Gemini, speaking from the Google AI Studio page you have open. How can I help you? Please enter your prompt.
yeah. So help me. I'm trying to apply for this competition that you see on my screen, and handhold me, walk me step by step through the process to help me apply to the competition and essentially win it. You will. I don't know anything around biology, data science, code, anything. You will have to handhold me, guide me to apply and to win this competition.
I can definitely help you understand the competition. It's about predicting biomass from images of pasture land. To get started, let's focus on understanding the data. Have you looked at the Data tab yet? And are you familiar with coding in Python?
I'm not familiar with coding in Python. I am looking at the data tab right now as we speak. Uh, I am looking at the data tab right now as we speak. I'm not familiar with Python.
Great! The train.csv file contains the image IDs and the corresponding biomass measurements for the training set. The test.csv file is for your predictions. The images are provided in the train and test folders. Your task is to build a model that can predict the different types of biomass based on the image data. Does that make sense so far?
Okay, go ahead. What is my next step, and how do we go ahead uh, and do this? Like, I don't know anything. I see the data. What are my next steps?
All right, a good first step is to explore the data further. You can download the train.csv file and take a look at it. It shows the image IDs, the different types of biomass measurements, and some other information. Do you want to try downloading that now?
Okay, I clicked on download all, and I have downloaded the data. Okay, so my point is this will handhold me to go from step by step from what are the steps to actually following it. It will help me open my code terminal. It will help me take it forward. It will help me write the code. It will do everything. And this is not just engineering projects, by the way. I'm saying if you have a competition, Google AI Studio will essentially handhold you across the journey for you to build a solid competition worthy profile across the board, right? And this could be competitions of any repute. As it can read your screen, it can understand what is happening on screen, it will give you feedback on screen, it can think like personas of what is being expected, and it will handle you across the board. Yeah, are you folks there with me? Sorry, I was on the other tab, so I can't even listen to you folks. If there's some feedback that would help.
Yes, we are there.
Yeah, okay, cool, awesome. So, so far, any questions with Google AI Studio? Yes, no, maybe.
No questions right now.
Okay, awesome. So, so again, identify the right competition and then use Google AI Studio to go on their landing pages, and Google AI Studio will handhold you to sort of execute the entire thing step by step, right? Students can go ahead, do that, get access across the board. Again, what will matter is the quality. If everybody can do it like this, what is the human intelligence that you actually build on top of it? And that is where need for mentors, need for right industry support would actually be needed across the board to execute, right? So good news, again, people will take 2 3 years to adapt to these tools, at least going forward. So that's the advantage window that you have. But once this becomes normal, you'll also have to sort of prepare your base in terms of, okay, if everybody can do this, how do we sort of build our practice further to be able to deliver 100x better quality outcomes, right? So that's the use case that everybody should be thinking on. uh, and yeah, with that, we'll move to research as a use case. Any questions on this so far, or should we move to competitions, or any other questions related to competitions, or any competition that you know that students are participating and you'd want me to showcase? Happy to do that as well.
How can I use this for CMC, Waterloo program, and for math, competitions?
CMC, Waterloo,
CEMC, Waterloo.
sorry, AEMC,
CEMC.
CEMC, Waterloo, math contest, right?
Yeah.
Okay, past distance, this mathematics computing contest. Okay, what a contest, how contest works. Okay, these are the questions. I'm assuming they would want us to November 21st, computer science or math. Yes, let's do the same thing. Let's go to here. Let's take this and start share screen and start share screen and share. And wait, yeah. Okay. I'm on this website by University of Waterloo. They're organizing a mathematics and computing contest. Help me and handhold me to apply for the competition and also solve problems to win the competition. I would need a school password and number, but assume that do they have the computing challenge detail? Discover and role of a math sources. I am seeing the same thing, order contest, but apply for a CMC account. And okay, you need a school name, graduate level, secondary, English, school street, you need all of this. Let's say I give you all this information. You can contact, no Jain, kind of maths, HOD, email, where is this part? CMC is a content sent to this contact. CMC or a person, context. Okay, so what is missing? I don't know spaces. Where is the space here? Okay, is it asking for a different ID? Maybe does this help? Okay, email. Where is?
I think
Okay,
select province state is missing.
I'm just
There's
looking
a
at
star.
missing.
Province state.
Oh yeah. Okay, not listed. Yeah, that's good. No, even with that,
No.
it's not working somehow. Do you have the context question? Let's say if you have the question, we can just put the question up and help it, like ask it to solve rather than the process.
Yeah.
Uh, would you have the question by any chance?
You get the context questions only once your registration is done, and then they give you time to solve the questions. You can use any AI tool, any resource, but you need to solve the questions.
That's okay. Okay, but okay. Yeah, this one, I think. Okay, what else is missing? Where have I entered special characters? School name is this. This is okay. So, okay, this is also done. That's it. Not this even. And they you walk on five. Town is okay. This is okay. PO box is not needed. Postal code not needed. Country is needed. Province not listed. Phone number okay. Principal okay. Website. Since in 9-digit school and government will be sent to this contact. Okay, which is okay. HOD, which is also okay. Spaces, characters, dashes are allowed, not say, on the English alphabet A to Z. This is this. These are the errors, but where is the error? Okay, these are things that okay. Can you wait? Let's ask it itself. Uh, Even if that's a challenge, let's just ask this to solve. Okay, on screen when I click, it is reading out an error. Only English alphabet numbers, spaces are allowed. No accented characters. Can you see which field on the form is where there is a gap for this error? But where is that? That's exactly what I'm asking. In my form, it's not visible. Can you point it out? Email, Raman. Okay, then does it allow? It should not be the case. Okay, this is not needed. Yes, this is what it is. Raman dot.
And we're not able to hear the response right now again.
Okay, but see, the problem is on screen also. Are you able to see there is a gap? I don't even see the gap. I think there's something wrong with the form itself.
Yeah.
I think,
Leave it. I'll explore at leisure
yeah,
now.
you can
Then, if I
send me
get
the
any
question.
issues, I'll get in touch with you. Let us move to the next.
Yeah, let's do it that way
Yeah,
only
because it
because I
has
think
taken a lot of your time. I'm sorry.
that's okay, but I think they only
Yeah,
have a.
I will do the, trials myself and then get back to you.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, but I think it was we got the point that it can read what's on the screen and just kind of
Yeah.
guide
So
us
yeah,
through
so that
different things, right? For
yeah. So
competitions. Yeah.
predominantly for competitions, I think this is a great tool. Then let's look
Yeah.
at the next tool,
Some one
right?
more
So
follow-up question. So when you asked it to read the screen, did you scroll all the way? Did you have to scroll or did you have to just leave it static? Damlan, can you hear me?
sorry. Yeah, please go ahead now.
Okay. My question was when you say share screen and you're asking Studio AI to guide you, do you have to scroll through various screens or, I mean, do you have to scroll your screen or do you just statically leave it?
It will
You don't have
statically
to
read
scroll.
it. It will take out context from other
Yeah.
screens also. You don't really need to
Okay.
scroll the screen.
Oh, oh.
Ah, okay, cool.
Just one question here, Naman, if I can interrupt you here.
Yeah, sure. Please go
Yeah.
ahead.
So on the Google AI Studio, you were letting it to read your screen and then accordingly get into this conversation. Um, um, when I look at the Google AI Studio with my account here, I don't know if it is a separate paid account, but then to me it says that you can upload a picture, you can type in the text, you can give the prompt, but there is nothing that it can read my screen.
Google AI Studio has a feature called Live. Just search for Google AI Studio Live. So that is
Okay.
what search for. Once you go to Google AI Studio Live, over there you'll find this. So it's AI Studio. I'll put this in the chat as well. Whereas AI Studio is a much bigger tool. We are using Live as a function. So
Okay.
aistudio.google.com/live. That's the URL.
Okay. Okay. Fine. Sure. Thank you.
Okay, awesome. Right. Let's go to the next use case, which is research, right? So let me share my screen and get started. Okay. Is is my screen coming up?
No, didn't see. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Again, ideation I'm not spending a lot of time on because that is where you already have depth. Fairness ordered food recommender. Okay, before after television can estimate leftover mass or okay. Green defaults and delivery shortcut menu carbon intensity housing local event where the features improve the not demand forecast. Okay, let's just say okay. Hyperlocal weather events and features improve diner demand. And how do you forecast diner demand based on hyperlocal events or weather features, right? Let's say we want to do a research on this. Now, I would go to this tool called, mm, yeah, size space. Okay. Now, I go to this. I want to do a deep search. Whether I want to search existing papers on this, to write a report, to review literature of existing papers, to essentially uh, r- convert this into my research based on available papers. This tool, and there are multiple tools, right? There is SciSpace, um, there is something called Elsevier, and we'll look at all the tools, by the way. right? So there is Elsevier, there is SciSpace, there is elicit.org, there is uh, Borium. There are multiple tools across the board, right? And each of them are different countries, different models to advanced search, right? Now, over here, help me find relevant papers on this to build a hypothesis. Now, what SciSpace does is SciSpace is connected at the back end to multiple journals, and it will pull data from all existing journals that are out there, whether it's Google Scholar, whether it's SciSpace, whether it's Scopus, whether it's so all journals that are existing out there, right? It will start scouting for papers, which would have taken a lot of time. This essentially quickly pulls out all the existing papers from there. Once this has pulled out papers from there, students ideally should be reading on all of these papers because that is how they learn and build context. But let's say you want to save on time because you don't want to read through all of this and actually want to get a paper published. All you can do is then, okay, extracting key insights. Now let me analyze the most relevant papers to identify events supporting hyperlocal features. This. It is extracting insights from these papers now. So it first identified all the papers. So if I had to actually go ahead on Google Scholar, on IEEE, on SciSpace, on Scopus to actually find all of these papers, it would have taken me a lot of time. Now all of this can happen in under few minutes. Then, based on that, it is starting to find out and read information from uh, all the papers. It is looking at evidence supporting hyperlocal features impact, comparative studies for importance and historical depth, methodological approach as to how should one think about this, and what are the key variables and predictive power to gauge uh, patterns across demands for based on local events or weather, right? And based on these multiple papers and evaluations and historical depths, it has gone out and almost created a sample layout for the paper based on multiple references across the board. uh, Based on multiple references, it has gone. So let's look at this paper, right? Whether if it's given a summary, it is given historical depth comparison, it is given most predictive hyperlocal features, it is given diminishing returns for from longer history, what were the methods, metrics, and quantified effects used for the paper, and it has pulled out formulas, it has pulled out everything from across the board. It has also done citation of where it has pulled that data from, what is the concrete effect and size of the impact, what are the practical key takeaways, and it has given you almost a draft of the paper. Now help me write and write and document the paper end to end. Again, I'm not saying this is the best paper ever written or whatever. That would require actually to go through these papers to write and to take it forward. But what I'm saying is, if you have a good deep insight, a lot of steps in the middle are leapfrogged and jumped across the board. Now, of course, you need the right mentors to help you build the right hypothesis. You need the right mentors to help you come up with the right metrics and formulation and evaluation to work on. You need the right mentors to go get it from academic research to practical research. You need access to right journals to build quality papers to publish in journals of repute, let's say an IEEE, Springer, Scopus, right? All of that is absolutely needed. There's no debate around this, but this is a great starting point. Yeah, I think someone was trying to say something. Uh, Someone was saying something, or did I miss it?
I want to understand how to write better prompts for extracting the right kind of research paper.
Okay, let me go ahead and do that as well. See, more than better prompts, right? Okay, it's I'll also help you do that. Let me answer that question in a second. Right. So if you look at it, it has gone out and written the entire paper from idea on the paper to the exact paper in
Hmm.
less than few minutes, right? Now to prompt, right? The first thing is to get that ideation right and build that hypothesis. It's more often than not, whether it's passion projects, whether it's research, whether it's competitions, any of these are going to be a function of your observation and the insight that you have, right? Now
Right.
you will have to say, okay, this is my hypothesis. I got this hypothesis because this is the daily pattern that I saw. Tell
Hmm.
me if there is research already done on this. If not, what are the missing links? If these are the missing links, what will essentially help solve this problem, see patterns across these problem, help find data across this problem, right? These are 4 5 parameters of a good statement or research being thrown. Once you have that, then based off that you can feed all of this to the engine, and at the back end, of course, this is wired in a format to then look at the right databases in the back end and pull out the right papers, because searching for you is not a problem, right? ChatGPT is exactly doing that at the back end, or OpenAI or Claude or any of these, right? What they're doing at the back end is predominantly scrolling through multiple of these pages and thousands and lakhs of pages,
Right.
right? And pulling the right information.
Hmm.
If you give them the right insight and how you arrived at that insight, it will know your thought process. Once you feed your thought process to it, it will then go ahead and pull the right set of information. Now, this was the research that got done right now was out of 100 plus 100 plus 20 plus 4,
Hmm.
224 papers, right? If I were to 224 papers, assuming 10 pages each,
Hmm.
2240 papers, assuming just reading, not finding, collating data, 300 pages a day would have taken me close to about 8 to 10 days.
Right.
This is just reading, then putting all that information inside together, then actually
Hmm.
coming up with information. I'm saying actually that is how it should be done, because that's how you actually build context and you learn from that process.
And knowledge, only then you will be able to answer the interview panels, which they later on
Absolutely.
ask you the questions based on the research and the papers you submitted.
Absolutely. So that is how it is supposed to be. But I'm sure there are
No,
because it
maybe not 224. One can pick up the relevant ones and just study the
yeah
others
yeah.
to
So
understand the context in totality.
yeah. So just again, it's a longer process, right? To get to those 224 papers, also you would have to had searched for so many things.
Exactly.
Right? So that got cut down. Then the right papers. Maybe you don't read everything, but out of those 224, you pulled out insights from 18 of them. You actually just go ahead and read 18 of these
18
papers.
months. Huh? Right.
Yeah. So that's also a way to go ahead and do this, right? So, but again, a mentor coming in would definitely help you build a solid hypothesis, would help you build a much deeper insight, would help you write a much better paper. But if you don't want to do all of that, everything is available today, is all I'm trying to say,
Right.
right? Yeah. So this is just one of those. I think there are other tools as well. There is Elicit, there is SciSpace. Again, with all of these tools, each of them have their own strengths and solutions. So let's say someone is actually writing a medtech paper, right? I would actually trust Elicit over anybody because it is trained on medtech, right? And it's used across by, let's say, Unilever, NASA, Stanford. Again,
Which
large,
one did you recommend for medtech?
Elicit, Elicit,
I didn't get. Okay.
Elicit, Elicit. Yeah. Now, if you were to look at generic research, SciSpace is the place to be. Then there is also Elsevier, if I'm not wrong. It's by Science Direct. So also what has happened is these publication journals have started building their own AI models, right? So if your journals are more available on, let's say, Science Direct, then you don't actually need to uh, buy access to other journals, right? Otherwise you'll have to buy all of these access and integrate all of these journals in a single uh, cohort, right? So
So
that's
for the purposes, sorry, question. For the purpose of guiding a high school student, what would be, do you say size space is the best? Like, it's a good starting point for them to,
again, there is
okay.
it's very difficult to say what
There's
is
a
best.
number. Yeah, very
It's
difficult. Yeah.
not,
Okay.
it's not a, like, we all like getting lists of, okay, this is the best, this is top three or
Right,
whatever. All of them have their own use cases because see, all large language models are based on training data that is being fed to them, right?
right.
Now, what is the data? Nobody reveals at the back end. You can only
Correct.
uh,
So black box.
decipher that from the front end, right? And there are
Mm-hmm.
like billions of use cases across the board. So if I say, let's say, size space is good, but it's still
Naman,
generic data. Yeah, sorry, what's the question?
Naman, are these platforms subject specific, like, for medical research, etc., if you're recommending Elicit?
Uh, so I think the only subject specific
Science Direct AI is science, the other one, the related research projects.
uh, again, I only know of medtech per se, and then there is legal tech also that has some papers. But apart from that, the general science, all of these journals will have their own. Uh,
And
uh,
which one did you recommend for the legal tech?
Legal tech, I haven't recommended anything because I also haven't built a conviction on any of these. I know that there
All
is
right.
work being done, but I also have very limited. So to recommend, I also need to study on some of it.
Pursuing the legal
Jyoti,
undergraduation.
Jyoti's
So
voice
maybe, I
breaking
could have helped them if I
for
had the
everyone.
knowledge today.
Sorry, is Jyoti's voice breaking for me? Is it breaking for everyone?
Am I audible now?
It's breaking for me too. I'm not able to hear clearly.
Okay, Jyoti, probably you want to look at your internet. But yeah, Deepa, you were asking a question. Sorry, I think we got interrupted.
Yeah, no, it was basically about what would be a good starter place because it's overwhelming, right? There's like just so many choices. And that was my earlier question. And I think I got your answer that
Uh,
this is evolving uh, so
yeah.
fast, and there's no way uh, to say which one is like an ideal one. But sometimes I feel there are platforms like which are a little easier to step onto, for a high school student.
For that, I think SciSpace is a good starting point.
Right.
SciSpace is also a hacky island. I shouldn't be saying this. They are a hack to not pay access to any of the paid publications, right? So
Okay. Yeah.
they've created
Yeah,
a
that
data
helps.
pulling data on that, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, so that's how SciSpace is better. But yeah, in college, some journals we did not have access to, and then we had to go to SciSpace and get journals for free because
Right.
paying for publisher licenses was very expensive. So yeah.
Right. Right.
Yeah. So that's how size space is. So that's why size space is fairly okay to begin with, and
Fairly
that's why
okay to start with. Somebody who's experimenting, doesn't know where they want to go. Yeah.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
that's where I started. But yeah. So
Sounds good.
so yeah, so that's on research. I think so. These are three massive cases where you can solve. And internships again, getting access to the right internship is problematic. But once you get that, Google AI Studio will help you solve any problem across the board, right? And if not, then probably I would like to speak for about 10 minutes on experiment labs and how we essentially help you solve all these problems. If that's okay with everyone.
Sure.
Okay, awesome.
Yes,
So
please.
yeah. So what we do, right, is we take all of this input and we've trained our data on close to about 100,000 accepted admitted profiles to top global universities and also rejected profiles, right? Based on that data, we are now based on students' background and information, not just around their personal interests or academic interests, but around their target countries, career goals, their extracurriculars that they've done in the past, and the college preferences if the student has shared. Also academic strength in terms of where is the student showing academic strength. We are able to highly personalize these ideas at step one, and at step two we are able to orchestrate all of this what I showed you to be delivered to students on a platform, right? So from right tools to right mentors to right industry partners across the board. Let's look at this example, right? Let's say the student Raghavi Goel is interested in music and interested in biology and genetics, right? Now, we just don't say do a research paper, that's something that you do, but we power you to now say and go ahead and say, okay, write a research paper on exploring epigenetic influences on musical talent, or let's say do an internship at Bioethics Society of India, New York Genome Center, Magenta by Google, and all of these are partnerships that we will essentially help you enable unlock as well, right? Or let's say if it's a passion project, we are saying biorhythm. Genetic data is complex and often inaccessible to non-specialists. By translating genetic sequences into musical composition, you can make genetic information more understandable, and we'll help deliver these passion projects and ideas across the board as well, right? So for that, we have a large set of course, the tools that I showed you, but we also have a large set of mentors on panel. These are all folks from the industry who would help students do that. We have a very specified format of delivery, how we handle the student, and all of these journeys are personalized to the student. So it's not a one size fits all program that runs. It's essentially a very curated and personalized delivery that happens across the board for all students. These are some of the ideas that students have worked from, right from sustainability to software to design to health tech to wellness and nutrition to social networking uh, to elderly care to fintech, the across the board, right? And not just software, there is hardware, there's software, there's physical products that students have built, and this is just passion projects as a category. Same across research, same across internships. We powered students to essentially deliver outcomes. In fact, one of the passion projects that the student did, he went from research to project to actually filing a patent. And that's been the student's journey across the board, right? So we essentially want to be, again, as I said, doctor pharma relationship, and we become your backend team and help you support deliver all of this across to students by highly personalizing it for them. And the goal is for them to actually, for you also to recommend the right things and them to go out and try. Once they face challenges, we'll do it. Or if they need handholding from step one with all the access, we'll help you enable do all of this together in one place. So that's a brief on experiment labs. Happy to answer any questions, and the next 20 25 minutes are for any other use cases that you would want me to solve or help you with from a profile building lens. Happy to answer.
So, Naman, the typical